of Lake Erie to Browns fans worldwide. Hope is alive and the future's bright. There's a Gleam podcast, a Cleveland Browns podcast. Let's get the Gleam together. Cold Lake wind and orange lights, Sunday fire, dog pound nights. We won the scars, we stood the test, brown and orange across our chest. From the Muni lot to the end zone line, this city's heart still beats in time. Through every loss and every dream, you can feel it rise. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam together. This is our time. Let's get the gleam together. Whoa. Let's get the gleam together. This is our town.
Gleam, man. There's a gleam. Let's get the gleam, all right? Let's go.
Wow. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our show. There's a Gleam podcast, the Cleveland Browns podcast. Today is Wednesday, March 4th, 2026. How about that new theme song, John?
I like it. I like it a lot. It's got a good beat to it. Gets me kind of fired up for some Browns talk.
Right? No, you dropped that on me the other night. You had two, and we decided to go with this one, and I got to admit, I'm liking it. I can see it. I can see karaoke night at a local bar, and we just busting that out with the crowd singing in the background.
Right?
That's so. No, I love it, man. If you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, X has been tricky. They're still not all there, but if you're watching, give us a comment. I think I figured out the Facebook because it's on my page right now. I switched my profile to public, so anybody out there should be able to comment. I hope I did it right. So if you're on Facebook, especially, drop us a comment. Let me see if this is working. X, I know I've tried to watch some other shows. I've had to tap several times on the comment. It finally goes through and I can post a comment. YouTube works great. So anyway, if you're out there watching, give us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. What'd you think of the new theme song? We got some more of it at the end of the show we're going to play. And on that, how you feeling, John?
I'm doing great today, Steve. Actually, had a really good morning. I met my girls, Taylor and Madeline, back in Lakewood. Took a drive over there, went to Caffeine Coffee. I think it's called Caffeine, but it's a coffee shop.
Okay.
So we had a good little visit this morning. Taylor's going to be flying to Las Vegas to see her friend tomorrow. So I wanted to touch base with her before she left. And Maddie brought me a little present. She actually brought me a little pint ice cream holder.
Nice.
So your hand doesn't get cold eating ice cream. So I'm kind of excited to try that out Saturday night.
Oh, that's
How
awesome.
you doing?
You know what? I'm doing good. You dropped me the other day that song, and that got me kind of fired up a little bit. I do want to say yesterday was a big day for me and my wife. I think I got a picture here. That was the original day, but yesterday my wife Debbie and I, we celebrated our 25th wedding anniversary, which you should remember that. You were my best man.
All right.
Somehow that woman's put up with 25 years of me. God bless her. She's a saint.
She's a saint.
Yep. No, that was her wedding day. That was a recent one, but yeah. Crazy thing was I wanted to do something special. She got a new job, so I'm not used to her not being here all the time. But she got a new job, so she's gone 9 to 5. But yesterday I was like, I want to do a special dinner. She's not a huge steak person. So I went to Costco and I got crab legs and I bought some sea bass.
Nice.
I'm like, I'm going to do a really nice dinner. Well, time got away. I actually had her car yesterday because my truck was in the shop, and I had her. I'm like, we're headed home. I'm like, I can make everything. Or if you want to just go out. And she's like, let's just go out. So we went to our club, our boat club, to the restaurant there and had a dinner there. So I'm going to try and make it tonight, but I'm going to do crab legs and sea bass.
Oh, that sounds great. I'll be over. Well, I got to work tonight. Right? I won't work.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We're going to go, we're tentatively set up to go to Red Steakhouse. Have you been to that place yet?
Red. Is that the one in Avon?
Red Steakhouse. I think there's two of them. Well, there was one over in Chagrin, off Chagrin Boulevard. I thought there's one downtown. And
I thought there was a Red Steakhouse in Avon.
There could be. I thought there was two, but maybe they got one over there. But the Chagrin Boulevard one just closed, I think, as of February 28th. So
okay.
We are going to go there. It's a really nice restaurant. So we're going to do that. We were hoping for 25th to get away and go somewhere nice, but with her new job, that's not going to happen. And but we got each other, and that's all we need. So
that's all you need. Again, living on a prayer.
Right. If you're watching out there on Facebook, X, if you can comment, want to see if these are coming through. Love to hear from you. I don't know if you heard the new theme song. Let us know what you think. But so yeah, no, we got a lot to talk about today. It's every week I'm like, I don't know, what are we going to talk about? What's there to do? And every week we get a bunch of news. Though this one wasn't as bad. There's a lot going on out there. But before we do that, want to just throw out there, you can catch us several different ways. You can subscribe. We'd love for you to be a subscriber on YouTube. You can find us at There's a Gleam Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at There's a Gleam Podcast. If you're watching on X, you know it's at Hemi44, and John is at Get the Gleam. John's TikTok is John There's a Gleam at There's a Gleam. I think you just have to put in John There's a Gleam, right?
Yep, that's all you got to do, Steve. It's pretty simple. Okay. My bug will pop up as soon as you put John, and then it'll pop up.
All right. And you can also follow and subscribe on Apple and Spotify. There's a Gleam Podcast. Look for our logo on Apple and Spotify. It's got the orange background. There's a Gleam. We do have some older shows when we're with the Fanatical Networks, but our new shows are on here now. But please subscribe, follow, like, and share, and help us spread the word. We're trying to grow this thing. So on that note, like I was saying, a lot to talk about.
Yep.
Browns news, made a big trade for an offensive lineman. We got some groundbreaking news. See what I did there? Groundbreaking news. We got a Browns report card to talk about. NFL news. There's some other trades, some other free agency news, and we have draft talk. We have some combine news. That was the big thing over the last week. What players' stock rose? Anyone you may have fell in love with? The other one is I'm doing the land this week.
Yes, you are, which is good. It took a little bit off me this week. I'll come back strong next week, but I'm glad you have one for us this week.
There we go. Yeah, I did Zappatelli's over in Menor, so we'll talk about that. So, yeah, I think we got a good show today. So on that note, let's get right to it. Let's get to some Browns news. And what do we got first, John?
Well, we got a big trade. Well, I don't want to say big trade. We have a trade. So the Browns traded with the Houston Texans, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one of their favorite trading partners, it seems like. Tackle Titus Howard for a 5th round draft pick this year. So we had 3 first-round picks this year, or 3 fifth-round picks. So now we're down to 2 5th rounds. You know, he had all right, let's backtrack a little bit. He was in the 2019 draft, he was a number 23 pick. So came into the league pretty high on the draft board. 93 career starts. He had over 3,500 snaps at left guard and right guard and left tackle. So he could kind of play along that line. Steve, I think they're kind of penciling him in maybe at right tackle.
Yeah. I mean, you give him that extension for that money. I mean, he played, that's where he's played, I think, the last couple of years. So he's versatile, but I'm thinking right tackle. I mean, you got DeJuan Jones, but he could be inside. But I right now, if I had to put money on it, I'm thinking he's going to be our starting right tackle.
Yeah, I agree with that too. He had a 52 to 698 in pass block win rate.
Okay.
And 49 of 68 in the run block win rate. And he had no sacks given up since 2024.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one thing I heard. Well, and what you were kind of saying, I heard he was a good pass block, but maybe not as strong a run block.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know he's 29. He'll be 30 years old when the season starts. His birthday's in May, so that's coming up. So 30 years old. He's got a 3-year deal, Steve? I think it was a 3-year, $63 million.
Yeah, what they do, was it still a year and then they extended 2 more or something? So it's a total, you got to raise, what was it, 3 years, $63 million?
Yeah.
This takes us right up to about when we would move into, right, 26, 27, 28. And then,
well, yeah, he might not see the new stadium.
No, sir.
We'll see. We'll see how it works out. Offensive line coach George Warhop coached Howard in 2022 for one season. So,
Okay.
so he has a little familiarity there. And
Yeah.
I imagine they probably talked to Coach
You'd
Warhop.
like to think that they got his opinion on what he thought and stuff.
I agree. Yeah, I'm sure they did. And,
Mhm.
and it's, it's been kind of a mess with Conklin on that right side. He can never stay healthy.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get a little stability with Howard, and he can at least be out there every week.
Right. I agree. Nah, I think the guy's been pretty steady. I think he's a solid player. I mean, it was interesting because right after they did that, Houston made another trade and they traded another lineman along with something else to get David Montgomery, I think it was, wasn't it? Which I think we'll talk about later. But
right.
Yeah, I like it. What did Barry say back at the combine when they're interviewing him? He kind of likes Chicago's model. Trade, free agency, draft, and develop. So
yeah, mixing some veterans with some young guys.
Yep. I mean, let's be honest. We're not starting five rookies.
No, they're not.
If you can get Petonio to come back, that gives you two veterans right there. Now center, who knows what's going on with Whippler, if he's going to be healthy, if he's the starter. Now potentially are down to two. And so I liked him. Overall, I thought it was a good move. Starting caliber lineman, you gave up a 5th round pick. I don't think that's much. The word I heard was that it's an upgrade from Conklin. So I'm okay with it.
Well, ESPN wasn't so okay with it. Seth Walder gave the Browns a D+ on the trade. He said likely getting a below average starter isn't cheap, and that is what they want to spend their spend the resources dealing a 5th round pick to pay what might be an overmarket deal for a below average starter. Well, I get it, but we're a little desperate too. Sometimes you have to open the checkbook when you're desperate.
I want to go Bill Polian on when Bill Polian went off on Mel Kiper. When Mel Kiper, who the hell is Seth Walder?
Right?
I don't know.
I've never heard of Seth Walder.
Nah, I think he's been there for about, I think since 17, 18. I thought I had to look him up. I don't know the guy that well. I
probably read his stuff and didn't really pay attention to him.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I know other people liked it. I guess time will tell. All I know is we've got an offensive lineman that started, so I'm okay with it. 5th round pick.
And then the Browns also released Cornelius Lucas.
Oh, okay.
They saved $2 million in cap space with that. So they are rebuilding this line. And Cornelius Lucas kind of reminded me of a swinging gate.
Well, I'm curious. I mean, we still have Levinston and Jenkins, right?
Yeah.
Whippler. The one I keep wanting to see is Zach Zinter. We drafted him a few years ago. I thought it was a good, got him later in the draft. He's coming off that injury, but at the time he was one of the best. He was Michigan's best offensive lineman, as we said. Yeah. I keep waiting to see something. Maybe this will be the year. I don't know. It would be nice. But Barry's working, right? I don't know if this will be the last thing we do. Free agency's coming up, so that could be big.
So I want to say something, Steve, about, and you brought up Andrew Barry for a second here. So Andrew Barry, a lot of people, including myself, have been down on Andrew Barry. But the other night I was thinking, when I was actually watching the combine Friday night after work, and Andrew Barry probably has over 200, I'm going to say off the top of my head, 200 names of players in his head, their positions, their college, their measurables. He knows all that. He's talked to all these players. So sometimes as fans, we're like, oh, he doesn't know what he's doing. Well, maybe he just made a bad decision, but I really feel that any general manager in the NFL, they pretty much know their craft and what they're doing. Just sometimes it doesn't work out.
Right.
So that's my little nod to Andrew Barry, because I know he gets bashed a lot, but when you really think about what he does and the time he puts and the effort that he puts in and everything that he knows, he's not as bad as we think as a general manager. I don't think.
There's a gleam.
There's a gleam.
Not true. A lot of people say, oh, he hasn't done anything for the line. He's let it go for all these years. And I mean, it's not totally true. I mean, he has done stuff. He drafted DeJuan Jones, drafted Zach Zinter. mean, he didn't do high draft picks. You know, the defense wasn't very good. At one point, our offense was pretty good. The defense, couldn't keep us in games. They kind of addressed that. He's made trades.
Yeah.
So it's just caught up. Your two guards are gone. Your tackle can't. Neither of your right tackle, Dewan moved over to left, but he couldn't stay healthy. So
you can't predict those things. You can't predict that your line's going to fall apart because of injury and age.
No, I would agree. So, I'm okay with it. We made a move right off the bat. Free agency starting next week, so let's see what happens there.
Yep.
We're going to talk more about that later. And then you got the draft. I think everybody, all Browns fans, I think we're fully expecting in probably those first. I would think within the first 2 picks, definitely the first 3 picks of our draft, we're taking a lineman. So we'll just see. Anyway.
I sure hope so. Otherwise, Andrew Berry's got something up his sleeve he ain't talking about.
Right. Well, let's see this. But on other front, there was so they announced that they weren't going to do the report cards anymore. And lo and behold, shortly after they do that, what do you know? Report cards are getting released. And we got the Browns 2025 team report card. Now, one quick thing about this real quick. I didn't know this. I heard this last week. I'm assuming it's true that they say they only pull about 10 players.
That's not what I heard. They pulled everybody and that's played through the end of last year.
That's what I thought, but I just heard is that supposedly they were saying, I thought it was on one of their local radio stations, that's really only 10. All right, now I don't know what to believe.
Well, I don't know now, maybe, but my understanding was it was everybody that was on the roster as of a certain date had a chance to chime in on this.
It would make sense. Now, some of these, I don't know if I totally buy, but treatment of families, D-. Say what you will about Haslam, but my impression of thing is I thought they do a lot for the families and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but we're not inside, I guess.
Exactly.
Home. What's the next one? Home game. Can you read that?
Yeah, I got them up. The home game field. So Huntington Big Field, they got a B-, which is good. I think that's probably a nod to the grounds crew.
Yeah.
The field's in good shape. The food dining area for the players is a D+. Now I heard Gerard Cherry talk about this, Steve. He said that he's eaten from low restaurants to high-end fancy restaurants. And he said there's no way that the Cleveland Browns dining facility is only a D+. He's eaten there. He said the food is actually really good. So I kind of believe Gerard Cherry.
Our buddy Angel over at the Bearded Browns podcast reposted the stream. What's up, Angel? Watch their show yesterday. I love those guys. Bearded Browns podcast. If you're not familiar with them, check those guys out. I said last week we hung out with Adrian Angel, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got sidetracked.
That's okay. That's no problem. Nutritionist, dietitian, C+. Locker room got an F.
Wow.
That's not good. Training room.
What?
What?
I don't, about the locker room. I don't know. They all look like they're pretty spoiled in there, but you won 5 games. You're lucky you got a locker room. That's what I think.
Yeah. Then they got the training room, got a C.
Mm-hmm.
Training staff got a C+. The weight room got a B+. So that's pretty good. Strength coaches also got a B+. Mm-hmm. And now, Steve, here's where it gets a little interesting from last year.
I don't think it's too surprising.
So offensive coordinator got a D+. Tommy Rees.
Wow.
Yeah, not great. And now here's the other one. The one that we talked about ad nausea is defensive coordinator.
Schwartz. May the Schwartz be with you.
May the Schwartz be with you. He got a A+. So
not surprising.
Not surprising at all.
No.
And this one won't be surprising either. Bubba Ventrone, special teams coordinator, D-.
Actually, that was surprising to me. I thought it would have been an F. Locker room got an F. Special team should have been an F. And if I could go lower than an F, I would have went lower. So that's my surprise.
Steve, this is starting to look like my high school report card.
I was a little better. I maintained about C's just so I could stay eligible to play.
Team travel got a D-. Ugh, that ain't good. Yeah, there we go. Head coach Kevin Stefanski.
Mm-hmm.
He got a C-. Well, so I don't know. C- seems about right for
some like him, some don't. That's about.
Yeah. And then we have CEO president, which I assume is that Jimmy Haslam's kid,
JW?
AW?
I thought he
Right?
was.
I think so. He got a B-, that's good. And then our general manager, Andrew Berry, got a C, which I don't know, Steve, what do you think about a C for Andrew Berry? I don't know how much these players really interact with him.
I think a decent amount.
Yeah.
He's on for most of them, he's either drafted or traded for him, I would think.
Yeah.
So,
C. And then team ownership also got a C. So, if you look at general manager, team ownership, and head coach and president, they are all passing grades.
Yeah.
Good enough for me.
I agree. I agree. Again, if you're listening on Facebook, do us a favor. Somebody give us a comment. I'm real curious to see if the comments are going through now that I tried to make that change on there. But if you're watching on Facebook, give us a quick comment. Say hi. Say whatever you want. Say what's on your mind. We want to hear from you.
Browns fans. Yeah.
The other big news, this just happened the other day, was as we said, groundbreaking news. What do you got here? This is right in your backyard.
I'm really, really close to this. They started digging on Monday, the new Huntington Bank Field in Brook Park, talking about going 80 feet deep, Steve. They're going to have to, I think they're going to have some water, because we're really close to the Rocky River watershed here in Brook Park. So I think they're going to have some water issues. They're probably going to have to pump that out for a while as they're trying to build. Of course, I've never built a stadium in my life. That's just what I think.
Wow.
And so 2 million cubic yards of dirt moved and $2 billion in private investment for the Haslams. The enclosed 67,500 seat Super Theater is set to open in 2029 and not just host Browns games, but Final Fours, international soccer, massive concerts. It's the biggest economic project in Northeast Ohio history. And I'll tell you what, the $2+ billion of private investment, that's the largest per capita private sports facility investment in U.S. history. So I give it to the Haslams for doing what they're doing. I think this is moving the Browns in the right direction. And I wasn't really for this at first, but I kind of like what they're doing here.
Yeah. And I'm at my wit's end. Our Facebook page can't get live soon enough. We have about 15 comments on Facebook. Rob Jacobs hit a bunch. He said A+ defensive coordinator, but he's a C- head coach, and we're lucky to not have to deal with that.
Good call for Rob. That's a great point.
Yeah. That's why he makes the big bucks. And if you're looking for who to follow on who to bet on, Rob's your guy. He does pretty well, although he's not retired yet from the Navy. But what's up, Rob? Shout out to Rob, Navy man. Thank you for your service. Noah Sardino. What's that?
He's out in San Diego protecting our country.
Yes, he is. And then Noah Sartain, actually friend of my son, football player in his own right. And he did some MMA wrestling or MMA fighting for a little bit. Now he's just a married father.
What'd he say?
He said, good riddance to Stefanski. So, and I don't know why, but for whatever reason, the other comments aren't showing. I have it on public, but
that's okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. I appreciate everybody commenting, though. That's pretty cool.
I think we're about a week or two before our page hits the 60. I had it on mine. I went, it said, you got to be public. I switched my profile for the world to see my public Facebook profile. So God only knows what's going on there, just so this show could be live. And I guess it is, because technically we've got comments on it I can't see, but it's not posting up on StreamYard. I'm disappointed with StreamYard.
Okay.
Anyway, on that note.
Yeah. Let's talk about this stadium for a second.
Yes.
So they said a super theater concept, which is instead of a traditional open bowl, the design will emphasize steeper seating angles, keeping fans closer to the action, massive center hung video board, premium acoustics for concerts, and sight lines optimized for more than just football. So that is what a super theater is. And we're getting one in Brook Park in 2029.
Wow. Noah said Miles Garrett doesn't train there, but at Strongsville.
Miles Garrett's where and trains in Strongsville.
That he doesn't. I'm assuming that doesn't train at the facility, but in Strongsville. I don't know. That's a good point. He also said he's disappointed in moving the theater. We should have got rid of Burke and made a killer entertainment center there. That would have been nice.
I agree. Burke is a waste.
Strongsville Fight Club. Oh, okay. I see what he's saying. Yeah, Burke to be downtown would have been nice, but I still think this. I'm all for it. I didn't like the stadium where it's at, to be honest.
No, it's tough.
I think it's kind of a waste there on the lake, but oh well.
Oh, like because when you go to Progressive Field or Rocket Mortgage, everything's right down the Rocket Mortgage Field House. Everything's right down there. But when you're at the Browns game, you kind of got to like walk and meander and go over the bridge. And like, there's a couple bars over there, but
it'll be interesting to see, once that's fully developed with all the other stuff they plan on doing down there,
yeah,
with the hotels, the stores, the restaurants, it's going to be basically a whole little mini city down there. So, and look at you.
You're
going to be right in the thick of the action there.
Top of the world, Ma.
You always seem to end up on the good side, whether it's a job. I'm not here no more, and you go and you get something better. And look at you. You went from Lakewood. You bounced out Lakewood to downtown Cleveland, back to Lakewood, now out to Brook Park. And you think those homes are going to skyrocket?
I'm hoping, but I don't know. Hope they do. I'm just excited for opening day on that in 2029 when we could. I'm sure my neighbors are going to hate me when I start, breaking the grill out around here around 7, 8 in the morning.
I just hope we still have our season tickets at that point, and they don't price us out of it. And if we get new PSLs, I'm holding on for dear life right now. That I want to, if nothing else, I would love to at least experience 1 year as a season ticket holder there. So.
I say no matter what, we're going to have to get cheap seats, even if they're cheap nosebleed seats, just to be there. And that's kind of how I'd like to go, but
I'd love to keep where we're at. But we'll see. Yeah, 80 feet. They're digging 80 feet down.
Yeah, that's deep.
Yeah, that's somebody else I read somewhere. Daryl Ryder was talking about. They said something about worried about flooding and stuff, and he said somebody else did that. Oh, I think it was LA Stadium did that as well. So I don't know. 80 feet down. I know Jacobs Field or Progressive Field. I'm sorry.
That's only probably what? Well, there's some concourses underneath and stuff.
Well, yeah, you got the whole underneath down there.
So you're probably 40, 50. Halfway as deep as the stadium is going to be probably.
Now, you know what? No offense, but this educated guess is coming from a guy that just said the Browns report card looked like yours, filled with D's and F's and stuff. Yeah. You're probably right, though. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I wouldn't take my advice on this.
That's something to find out for night. If anybody's out there listening, and how far below grade street level is Progressive Field, I'd be curious to know how those two compare. But anyway, exciting stuff. I like it. We got some big. That's it for Browns news. Like I said, that was pretty big. The other thing, I didn't pull it up, but this is getting a little ridiculous. I did have the things, but I don't think I'm going to pull up. The Browns have officially finished their head coaching staff.
Oh, yes. I did see this.
I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but Todd Monken's coaching staff for 2026, is this going to show up big enough?
Yeah.
Not bad. I'm not going to read all these, but what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And if you count the coach, 20, am I seeing this correct? If you count Monken, 29, although there's an administration, John Carr, 29 coaches.
Well,
you're damn well near almost a coach per 2 players. They're going to get over 30 here. That's crazy. I mean, I coached football for a while. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I am a former head coach of Notre Dame football.
Yeah, Pee Wee.
I was in the East Lake City Youth League, but I'm still a Notre Dame former head coach, so I think I could speak on some topics. That just blows my mind, though, that you have 30 coach. I mean, well, that's how the sports are. They're big business, and whatever. But anyway, we got our coaching staff. And who was the really sharp guy? Was it Daniel Stern? Remember? He was coming over from Baltimore, the boy genius, young kid.
Oh, yes. And then he ended up going to the Rams or something, I believe.
Yeah. He ended up, or no, it was Seahawks.
Oh, he went to the Seahawks. Okay.
He ended up going to Seattle. But yeah, I thought that was a done deal. And I happened to look at it. I'm like, where's Daniel Stern? And I didn't see him. And I think I looked it up. Yeah, he ended up going to Seattle. So that fell through. So anyway, there you go. We got our staff. What's that?
No, I didn't say it. I just went, it's kind of just made a noise.
There we go. Well, let's move on to some NFL news here. And we talked about it briefly, but what was one of the first? I know you had a trade that we were talking about.
Yeah, there were a couple things going on. We had, of course, the big trade this week where Detroit sent David Montgomery packing. He's headed to Houston for a 2026 4th-round pick, a 2027 7th, and offensive lineman Juice Scruggs. So Montgomery had been part of the Sonic and Knuckles duo with Jahmyr Gibbs, but Gibbs kept taking more of that workload, and Montgomery's down to just a short yardage rotational back. So he'll get a chance there. Joe Mixon, he didn't play at all last year. He'll probably be gone.
Well, I don't even know if they think this year he's even going to play. It's some mysterious foot injury. I think Chubb. Didn't they already say Chubb's gone?
I think Chubb's gone too.
Yeah.
And then they got Woody Marks.
Yeah. No, it's a good, he's definitely going to see more. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs is a stud there in Detroit, but they were a good 1-2 punch, actually.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're talking fantasy, David Montgomery, that's a value pick right there.
I had him a couple years ago. I mean, the guy was getting me 10 touchdowns, and it pop out some decent yards, but I guess not a bad move for Houston. But I mean, damn, they traded 2 of their starting linemen.
Yeah. Oh, they must not have been that impressed with them.
That, and I thought they've invested a lot with the linemen, the young linemen and stuff. So I think they've got some other guys in the pipeline and whatnot. So they had some depth there, and they're moving forward. So should be interesting. But yeah, there goes David Montgomery. What's that?
Yeah, Montgomery. I thought you said Morgan for a second.
I was thinking of something else totally. But some big news as far as free agents, restricted franchise players, transition tags, this and that. What did you hear with that? There's some big news yesterday.
Yeah, Breece Hall. The Jets placed the franchise tag on him.
Mm-hmm.
Projected to make $14.3 million this year. Good. That was a good move. I mean, I know the players don't like franchise tags, but for the team, I think that was a good move.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys, on Facebook. Like I said, these should be coming through their knots. I keep trying to pop back. Noah is saying they have huge depth on the O-line. So I think he's talking about Houston. He said, ask Chat GPT. Noah, I got so much stuff going on here. I'm just trying to get through this show, producing the show. In fact, if anybody knows a good producer that works for virtually nothing, let us know. He could be the producer of There's a Gleam podcast for us.
Like I said, we pay in beer.
Hey, it's not a bad gig. I'm sorry. What do you got though?
George Pickens. That was a big signing by the Cowboys. Then they used a franchise tag on him this year. So he had a great year last year.
I didn't look that up, but Breece Hall with that franchise tag, if I remember hearing correctly, I think he's projected to make about $14.3 million. Boy, is it nice to have. Hopefully he's healthy this year. Quinshon Judkins at that rookie contract.
Right.
But I don't know what the receiver is. Kyle Pitts, Stefanski. He loves his tight ends, no?
Yeah, he does. They used a franchise tag on Kyle Pitts too. So,
he was a top. I mean, I remember him coming out in the draft. I was hoping the Browns could have gotten him, coming out. He was phenomenal, but really was kind of disappointing for his beginning of his career. But he kind of really came along last year and really had, I think, one of his better years, if not his best year. So he's still young. I guess it's not a surprise. Keep the weapons there. Although, who's the quarterback? Is it going to be Penix?
It's going to be Dylan Gabriel. Speaking of quarterbacks, Daniel Jones was also transition. The Colts use a transition tag on him. So he'll get 1 year fully guaranteed contract, worth an average of the top 10 salaries for that position, which is about $37.8 million. And then that allows the Colts to retain him, and he can test the waters as a free agent next year. Is that for next year, right, Steve?
This year.
Will be this year then?
Yeah, they offered him the transition tag, so he's guaranteed to make that 37.8, but right now he can negotiate with other teams. And if a team comes in and says, hey, we're going to offer you this, now the Colts will have that chance to match it.
Okay, but then who pays it? The team that got him, or the Colts pay the other team that got him, right? This isn't like the Kyler Murray deal. Because Kyler Murray, if he gets traded, the Cardinals are going to take up a big chunk of his contract.
I love you. You're the best man at my wedding. I love you with all my heart, but that report card just shined through. So think about what you just said. He's a free agent, and they offer him a contract. Who's going to pay? Well, the Colts are going to match it. Colts are going to pay for it, not the team. Hell, if that was the case, the big Browns go bid on everybody because
they're going to pay for it.
Yeah, no, but so transition tag, yeah, they have a chance to match. He's guaranteed to get at least a 1 year. Now, here's where I'm pretty sure with a transition, a team can offer a multi-year deal.
Okay.
I'm almost positive. But this transition, if nobody offers him anything, then he was guaranteed to get, like you said, the average of the top 10, I think it is, for 1 year. And then I think he's a free agent at that point, or maybe they could do the whole process again. But then a team, like he's offered that, but any team could talk. The Browns could go to talk to him and be like, hey, and they could offer him a contract. And then I think I saw 5 days and 7 days. I know it's about a week. The Colts would have about a week to sit there and say, okay, are we going to match this or not? If they decide not to, then he goes to that team for that money. So he is with them.
And that's why I hooked up with you for podcasting, because you know your shit.
I have my moments.
You do. What about Kyler Murray, though, Steve? That's the big thing that I'm wondering about, because they've been talking about Kyler Murray to Cleveland.
Right.
And
Jacob said bye-bye Gabe.
What's that?
Jacob said bye-bye Gabriel on Facebook. And then Noah said that's crazy they tagged him too, and Hall being tagged. Yeah, I was surprised with Hall. I mean, he had a good year, over 1,000 yards, but I don't think he's been as good as what they were hoping. I wasn't expecting that either, Noah.
Yeah. So would you take Kyler Murray if we only had to put about $1.3 million down to get him?
So, yeah. So he's being released, and what was it? So he's set to make what, $36.8 million, but whoever signs him is only going to play the minimum. You know what? I do not want Kyler Murray, and here's why. I am convinced. You got me on this somewhat. I want to go with Shedeur. It's a win-win for us. Play Shedeur. Don't monkey around. Let's see what we got. You're going to add some pieces on the offense to help them out. He'll have a legitimate shot at being a starter this year for if he can stay healthy. Let's see what he got. If he hits and plays like Shedeur fans think, and possibly you might have your franchise quarterback. If he's terrible and we win 5 games or less, perfect. We're in the top 10 and we're going to get a franchise quarterback. But to take Kyler Murray, do you see Kyler Murray being the long-term answer?
No.
Then why get him? Why screw up seeing what you got with Shedeur? I don't want it at all.
I just have a feeling they're going to bring somebody in.
Yeah. Noah says good backup. That is true.
Well, but isn't Deshaun a good backup?
It could be. I don't want them, with everything happened last year and stuff. You got a young quarterback. Nobody's expecting anything this year. In fact, I don't even know if we'll be projected to win 5 games. So play him. This is, by all accounts, next year is the golden year. It's the 2018 draft, or even the one with Caleb Williams from a few years ago of, 5, 6 or more quarterbacks. And if you suck, great. But Kyler Murray, if he gets me 7, 8 wins, it's going to push me deeper. We're still in no man's land. He's probably not, there. But Noah's saying, I think for the pricing of Murray and Deshaun could be, but with all the injuries, I wouldn't keep him. Yeah, Watson's on this team regardless for at least another year.
Right.
But yeah, I kind of want to see Shedeur. I want to see what the kid has and go from there. No?
Yeah, I do. Definitely. I read a report though at the combine that people were still talking about Shedeur and that they don't feel that he really has what it takes to be that franchise quarterback. I would just say Well, let's wait and see.
Okay, so what people are that? Because the same people last year at the combine were telling me he could be the number 1 or 2 pick, but he was definitely a first round pick. So which group's there? You know what I mean?
I don't know, Steve. There's so much. I say just play the kid. Play Shador. Let's see what we got. He's exciting. People like him.
He had some moments. I mean, let's be honest. He had some exciting moments. And I get there's the QBR rating and all that stuff. I don't know. Some of the metrics I'm not a big fan of. At the end of the day, he played 7 games and what? Won 3? Was it?
I think
you went 3-4. You won more games than any other quarterback last year. So I want to see what the kid can do. Like I said, Kyler Murray, is a good backup. And if that's strictly what they're going to do, I guess I don't have a problem with it. But I'm biased towards short quarterbacks. I dislike them. I'm not going to use the word hate. I'm going to say I strongly dislike them. I just don't want nothing to interfere. Play this kid, but I didn't want to talk about Watson in an open competition and what would happen.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about that because we talked about that last week and it just gives me an upset stomach.
I agree. Khalil Mack, another big news. Khalil Mack, remember him?
Yeah.
Mike Mack, loved that guy. That was in the Javadian Clowney draft where he thought he was the best player. Turned out he may have been right on that one. But he's going to play his 13th season.
I love Khalil Mack.
Yeah, he's a stud.
He is. And then free agency starts, the 12th? That's next week already, right?
Yeah. Rob said crazy that Watson's in the final last year. Was actually, Rob, I don't think he's in his last year. I think he's still got a few more. They extended stuff. But next year you can cut him, release him, and it wouldn't be such a cap hit. Right now it's something crazy. Wouldn't it be like 70-something million? 70?
Something up there.
Somehow they catch a break next year. And Jack Duffin, if you guys follow Orange and Brown, that kid's pretty masterful at the cap and stuff. He's a good follow. I'd like to get him on the show, but he's over across the pond there, so hours are different. But he technically, I think, still has a few more years left on that.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Steve,
what else you got? Anything else?
The salary cap number this year?
Yeah.
Over
300. No.
$300 million. $301 million. That's a crazy salary cap.
I just want a little piece. I love one of your famous sayings. The first million's the hardest. How can I get just 1 million of that 301?
First million is the hardest.
Some surprises. The Seahawks did not franchise tag Kenneth Walker, but I think they'd like to keep him, but they didn't franchise him. So he's a free agent.
Boy, that's a little shocking, I guess, after the year that he had.
Super Bowl MVP.
Well, I guess we'll see what happens where he goes, but he'll probably stay in Seattle, right?
You would think. Max Crosby, I know they're talking, there's a lot of trade rumors circulating with him.
I heard Chicago.
Yeah. Heard a few
teams. My son-in-law, Austin, he would love, I texted him yesterday. He's like, I would love to have Max Crosby.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're probably looking, I don't think they'd get as much as if you would have traded Miles. But I still think you get a couple first round picks or a first and a second, a player. I think he's got good value. I don't think the Raiders are really close at all. If I'm the Raiders, I probably would do it. Well, build for the future.
Well, they'll get their quarterback this year, and that's a start.
Well, yeah, I agree. There's some players though that interested me that weren't tagged. We talked about Walker. I think we're pretty well set at running back. They wouldn't go after that.
Right.
Colts wide receiver Alec Pierce, former Cincinnati Bearcat. Chargers defensive end Odafe Owu. This one not surprising because they did draft the other guy, but Jaguars running back Travis Etienne. We knew about Ravens center Tyler Linderbaum. And the Bengals, the whole saga over the last so many years of them and him, the Bengals trying to get a contract or something. They did not franchise Trey Hendrickson. So any of those players, any interest to you, John, for the Browns?
Nah, maybe Linderbaum. I'd take Linderbaum for center.
What about you? Would take him in a heartbeat. If we could add him to anchor that line, he's still young. I would love to have him. I just don't know how much it's going to cost, and I don't know if they'll do it. But he interests me. I think he's a stud.
Yeah,
love to have him. Plus, it weakens Baltimore. But the guy I really like, I liked him coming out of college. He was taller, he's got good speed, and has some really good hands. I would love for the Browns to try and sign Alec Pierce. I'm a big Alec Pierce fan. I've had him in my fantasy leagues. He's kind of a big play guy for them. Fast. He's tall, over 6. I think he's over 6'2". I like him a lot. And
I know,
don't know
you've always been high on Alec Pierce.
Yeah. I'm a sucker. I know in fantasy, I've had him in a couple of my fantasy leagues for a few years now. And he's paying off. I mean, good 25-year-old. I forget. I'm trying to see what is verification. 6'3". I knew he was over. I thought he was over 6'2".
Okay.
6'3", 211. So I love me some Alec Pierce. So those two guys, if somehow we had the money and could do it, those would definitely be two people I would be interested in. So Rob wanted to know last year we have to deal. Yeah, he wanted to know, do we want to spend money on a wide receiver, A. Pierce? That ain't my money.
I'll do it.
I mean, we gave Jerry Jeudy what, 50-something million extension?
Yeah. Just for reference, Steve, Alec Pierce had 47 catches, over 1,003 yards last year, and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Not bad numbers for 47 catches.
No, considering he wasn't their number one. I mean, because you still had Pittman, and of course you had Jonathan Taylor, who had a monster year. So, and then you ended up getting a 40-something-year-old Phillip Rivers playing the end of the year. I mean, I don't think he had plus they had the tight end too that they drafted. So, they had a lot of pieces on that side. So, like I said, I don't know if he's a number one, but if we could add him for the right price, I would love to have him. He played at Cincinnati, so that'd be nice. But anyway, there's some other big news, and actually I just heard about this morning.
Okay.
The Bears, speaking of your son-in-law, the Bears, their center, Pro Bowl center, Drew Dahlman, 27 years old. He informed the Bears he's retiring. He's a former Stanford football player. He just signed with them last year. I think it was a 3-year deal. And I think he's with the Falcons 4 years before that. So it's going on his 6th year, but he decided he's retiring at 27.
Wow.
What other Stanford player retired early, shocking a lot of people?
Andrew Luck.
Yes. There's another guy I loved in fantasy. Broke my heart when he retired. I had Luck in our one league forever.
Yeah, I loved Andrew Luck. The only thing I didn't like about the whole Andrew Luck situation is they went from Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck.
Isn't that incredible? We've struggled I lost count with the years, and they go, It's like the Packers. You go from Favre to Rodgers to Love. Life's just not fair sometimes.
Some you win some, you lose some.
Yep. No. And then I saw this right before the show. I think it was either Rappaport or Schefter. One of them was reporting that the Chiefs and Rams are working on a blockbuster trade that would send all-pro cornerback Trent McDuffie to the Rams. And I think the package was the 29th overall pick this year, and I'm sure something else. And that McDuffie would be expected to sign a long-term deal with the Rams. So keep your eye out for that. Before they announced that, I saw that right before I went on for our show. So that could be cooking something there. So pretty interesting.
Yeah.
All right. We're behind here. 12:49.
We got to get moving, Steve.
No, I want to stay. We're going to do a 2-hour show. Call off work.
Sounds good to me. I didn't have to work last night. The power went out. I showed up to work at right before 2:00, and there's like 5 cars in the parking lot. I thought it was Saturday morning. And
that's weird. You're a multi-billion-dollar. You guys don't have generators or something?
We have a generator, but not to run all the equipment we have.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so I had a free night last night. So
we don't have a 2-minute drill this week. That was my bad. I got tied up with work anniversary and stuff, so I didn't do that. But we're going to jump to draft talk, and more specifically, it's going to be more about the combine. So that was fun. Did you get to watch much of it, John?
Yeah, so I did. I watched. So Friday night was the best night for me. I got home from work, poured a drink, put some music on, and I didn't have the commentators. I just watched. And I watched for about an hour and a half or so. So that I got a lot. That was I think that was lineman night, defensive lineman. So I watched that. And then over the weekend, I watched here and there. Sunday, I watched some also during the afternoon. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't get to stay as locked in as I wanted. But I did watch the first few days, and man, I'll tell you what, Ohio State, there are some players that kind of turned some heads and did some stuff there, huh?
Oh man, Sonny Styles
That
ran a
shocked me. I did not.
4.46 40-yard dash.
Yeah,
And then Lorenzo Styles ran a 4.27.
that blew my mind.
Arco Reese ran a 4.46. And these guys are just,
they're flying. I mean, Reese and Styles to run that at their size is just insane. And Lorenzo, I'll be honest, I don't really remember him doing a whole lot at Ohio State, the safety, but dude's running a 4.27. It was the second fastest. Brennan Thompson, I believe, I think is a receiver, Mississippi State or somewhere. I think I might be wrong. I think he beat him by like a tenth. What is he? 4.26, but Lorenzo Styles with a 4.27. Word has it he could kind of play. It's a spot we may need. Any interest in him?
Definitely. I have interest in, and I'm not an Ohio State homer. You know that. I like Ohio State, but I'm not a homer. But they've got some great football players at Ohio State. And
that is true.
I would take any of them.
I will give you credit. You are not at all a homer, but there's a guy I was really falling in love with prior to the draft that I was really hoping the Browns would be looking at, and he really shined. Georgia tackle Monroe Freeling. He was one of my favorite linemen, and man, he may have been one of the, if not, he's definitely one of the top 5 or less, but maybe the top riser in Indy.
Did you see his was his RAS score?
Yeah, what was
that bases everything upon like ability, strength, everything.
Yeah.
He got a 9.99 out of 10.
Jeez. Yeah, I know he ran well. It was like 4.9 or something. Good movement. A lot of people had him mocked going to the Browns with that 24th pick. Now there's talk of him now going up. I don't know if I'd take him. I'm not crazy. This sounds strange, but I'm not crazy about the O-line draft this year. I don't think there's those true left tackle franchise guys. There's a lot of right tackles. Monroe could be it, but is he worth the 6th pick in a draft?
Monroe is a 100% left tackle.
Yeah.
He's the prototype left tackle.
That's what I like.
You're going to move inside. You're not going to move him to right tackle. He's a left tackle. 21 years old, Steve. I'm thinking really long and hard about drafting him at number 6.
Okay. That would be, yeah.
I mean, I know you're probably just drafting too high, maybe, but maybe not. I mean, if he's this good and he can lock down that left side for the next 10 years.
Right. No, I mean, I've heard he's kind of in that maybe 10 to 15 range, 8 to 15. So if the Browns were looking to maybe, if they got offered just a phenomenal deal to move back a little bit.
Yeah, but they also said if he stayed one more year in Georgia, he'd come out next year and be a top 5 pick. So
you sold me, Johnny. No, I like him of the tackles. I love the fact that he's a true left tackle.
Yeah.
Fano, the kid from Miami, and a few other ones. That worries me that they're not true. I don't think it's as simple as moving from right to left like some people think. And I don't want to do that. So I'm not too impressed. He was a guy I really liked, and I knew he was rising, but that combine really shot him up. So the other one was, the two for me that I like that I was hoping we'd walk away with in this draft was Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
The Buckeye receiver, and Freeling later. Now, Carnell Tate did it. He did run the 40, but that was it. He didn't participate in anything else. And some say it was a little disappointing. I think they had him officially at 4.53, which some said that's about right for him. But there's some controversy there. Did you hear about that?
I did. And who said someone had the stopwatch? They were doing old school with the little click stopwatch. Was that
Schefter? Schefter said there was.
Schefter did? Okay, I read that somewhere. Dude, honestly, Carnell Tate. I don't care if he runs a 4.5. He's going to get open.
Yeah. Some people made a stink about that, and Schefter said that there were reports that other team execs, GMs, were clocking him in that 4.45, 4.47 range. But just for argument's sake, in case you didn't know, I had to do a little research. And other wide receivers that ran a 4.5 that have recent is CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman Jr., Cortland Sutton with Denver, Demaryius Thomas, God rest his soul, he passed away, Des Bryant, Antonio Brown, and Mike Evans. So
Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins too.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about them.
So to me, hey, I hope he slides to 24.
Right? Wow, I don't think that's going to happen. Wouldn't that be something? We got those two players just in reverse order. For me, that doesn't really. I'm convinced now more than ever, and I kind of was going into it, that Carnell Tate's the best receiver in this draft. I don't know if he's going to be Pro Bowl. He's 6'3". You know me. We've talked. I want a big target.
Yeah.
So if it was me right now, I probably would be going Carnell Tate with that first pick. If we stood at 6. What about you?
Steve, you're putting the pressure on me because I really, 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 really want to tackle.
I do too.
So I probably would take Freeling, and I know you'd probably get hammered for taking him at number 6, but something about it tells me don't pass on this kid. And I want to receive a really, really bad too, but I'm willing to wait a little bit.
I would say, and that's where we got to figure out. We got to do some more in-depth research, but and watching more. And here's what it comes down to: is the drop off at receiver picking, one at 6. What's the bigger drop off? Getting one later at 24. Now the receiver class, they say it's a pretty good deep one. I don't know if it's Hall of Fame level, but as far as good receivers, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And then, or what about tackle? If it's a bigger drop off, I might be with you. If I can get that left tackle, man, if we can lock in a Joe Thomas for the next decade, right there is worth everything. So,
well, it's going to be interesting. And then we've got a couple weeks to go here. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this shakes up into the pro days and leading up to the draft. So we're going to have a lot to talk about.
For
sure. I'm sure our views will probably change a little bit as we watch and listen.
It's going to change every week. Well, we'll start doing mock drafts here soon. I personally wanted to wait for free agency. I mean, I think that'll dictate a lot. So I think free agency starts next week. So what is it? March 9th starts. They can start negotiating and talking with players. And they got that 2-day window. And then March 11th at 4 p.m., if I'm not mistaken, Eastern Standard Time, you can make it official. So that should be exciting. Any chance, I know they're talking about quarterback Malik Willis. You think there's any chance the Browns have interest?
Not at $25 million. I hope not. And
I saw somewhere about 30 and 40 million or something crazy.
Do you remember the quarterback from Green Bay? This was maybe, I don't know, 2010 or something. Was his name Flynn? I was thinking about this the other day.
Oh, yeah, Matt Flynn.
Matt Flynn, that's the name. And he got that big, he had like a couple good games with the Packers, and he got the big, I can't remember where he went either. Maybe
it was either Seattle or the Saints. Shoot.
But anyway, so that's what I mean, I don't want to take a guy that's got as much experience as Shedeur Sanders has. What's the point?
Right. No, I agree. He went to Seattle. Seattle was the team that signed him. I knew it was one of them. It was him. I think eventually, I don't know if he went over to the Saints at one point later, but no, he was with Seattle.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Flynn got a big contract after playing just a little bit in Green Bay.
Yeah. Jacob said Jacoby Lane, 6'4", slated for the 3rd round.
Ooh, who said that?
Rob Jacobs on Facebook. And he said USC. And he also said trade with KC so they can get Jay Love and we don't have to take him at 6.
I guess.
Yep.
Anyway. What want to kind of wrap this up, Steve?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock. So
here.
Yeah,
good time just goes so fast.
It really does. Even more reason we should do a show every day. The fans are asking for it.
They're clamoring
for it. So this week I did the thing, and my wife and I, we went to a somewhat local joint. It's in Mentor. It's called Zappatelli's over in Mentor off Mentor Avenue. The exact address is 9570 Mentor Avenue. good little Italian place. You know me, Italian's probably one of my, well, it's my favorite cuisine. So
Yeah.
unfortunately, I can't eat a lot of it, but we went there and enjoyed a good meal. My wife got, so let me see. There we go. Zappatelli's Pizza, Pasta, and Parms. Dine-in, carryouts. There's not a ton of seating in there. It's a little bit smaller, but the wife and I went there. She got the gnocchi with meatballs.
Oh, yum.
What she liked. She's not a big saucy person. In fact, she likes little to no sauce. So she asked for light sauce. It actually was too heavy for her, but that's the gnocchi with meatballs, which I tried both, and both were really good. I am a part. What's that?
She needs to go to that. Where was I at in Little Italy? Mia.
The
Dolce,
place,
Dolce Vita.
Dolce, yeah.
Yeah. They are very lightly sauced, traditionally Italian, lightly sauced.
Okay. I'm a parm guy, so I love veal parm a lot, and I also like chicken parm. So I got the chicken parm. Now, I'm a sauce guy. I love pasta sauce. They look at that. They are not shy about putting sauce on their stuff. It was loaded. Now, full disclosure, I got the chicken parm, which I really enjoyed. I'm not a big angel hair pasta guy, and I didn't read the fine print that it came with angel hair, and it wasn't too thrilled with it. And they were great. They're like, no problem, we could replace it. So I went with their rigatoni, and the rigatoni was phenomenal. And I know it's pasta; it's kind of hard to mess up in a way, but not really.
You could still mess up pasta.
You really can. But I got the chicken parm with rigatoni, and I have a picture of it here. Sorry, I had too much stuff in there.
Already showed it. There it is.
But they, like I said, very generous with the portions. I felt, you know me, I'm a big guy. I love to eat. So when I'm pretty full, that's just the side of rigatoni.
Oh, that's a lot of rigatoni.
Yeah, no. Deb, we went there a long time ago, and to this day I still remember. It's the only place I've ever been to where if you order lasagna, you get meatballs with it. Maybe it's me. I don't know if anybody out there's ever gotten meatballs unless you've added it to your order, but it just comes with it. Have you ever had that?
No, I've always have. No, it's always just lasagna.
Yeah, it blew me away when I saw that. I'm like, that's awesome. So, but no, they serve pizza, subs, salads, pasta dinners. They got every pasta: angel hair, cavatelli, fettuccine alfredo, manicotti, lasagna. I said spaghetti, ravioli, rigatoni. Several chicken and veal dinners: chicken parm, chicken marsala, chicken piccata.
You sound like Bubba from Forrest Gump.
Veal parm, veal marsala. They do specials. Like I said, overall, I thought the food was good. Pizza solid. Like I said, if you like sauce and you like good sized large portions, I don't think you'll be disappointed. I'd go back. Definitely would go back, and we enjoyed it. So
nice. Well, if I get to the east side, maybe we'll go out there together one day if I come out to see you soon.
That sounds like a plan. So wrapping up a little bit, we're gonna got one little. Never changed that. Sorry about that. The land, but we have a little bit. There's a Gleam this week.
So, Steve, I guess the Gleam is going to be free agency. Free agency starting Monday, March 9th at noon. Official signing period is Wednesday, March 11th at 4 p.m. So there's a Gleam, Steve. Maybe we're getting that next big guy that's going to lead us to the Super Bowl. I'm hoping.
Isn't that everyone? This is the year free agency starts. The guys we sign are going to put us over the top and take us to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I'm banking on.
It's exciting. Well, you're going to hear a lot coming up. I'll be curious to see how active we are, especially to start.
I don't think we're going to be real active, Steve. I'm looking maybe one signing, maybe two. No major, huge signings, but I think we'll do a little bit of work.
Yeah. I'm curious to see what we do. I think alignment's in play still, maybe defensive side of the ball, possibly adding another piece or two. Receiver, I don't know if there's really anybody out there. I got to look at the free agency list a little closer. I had it up here, but we're running short on time, so we'll talk about it more. We're gonna have a lot to talk about next week, because by next week, no, actually, that's right. Well, the negotiating will start on Monday. You'll already get wind of who's signing where and stuff, and then it won't be official until Wednesday after 4:00. So we're definitely going to talk a lot next week about free agency and what we've heard, what's been supposedly.
Maybe we do a special show on Thursday.
There you go. That's a possibility. So
Possibility. Depends who signs. Do a quick half-hour show or something. We'll see.
yeah, no, I'm all for that. So anyway,
All right.
we went a little bit over, but want to thank you guys for joining us today. Had a lot of fun. I think we're probably, John, probably about a week, maybe 2 at the most, but I was hoping this week, but I know it's going to come to fruition. We're probably about a week or 2 from announcing some more big news. So stay tuned for that. I'm really pumped about that one.
Yeah, we got some good stuff coming. Really good stuff coming up.
Well, you blew me away with the new theme song. We're going to close that out here in just a minute, but I really like that. Love to get people's input. If you're watching or you listen on Spotify, comment one of our platforms. Again, how do you find us, John? Can you read that?
You find us everywhere where there's an internet connection, Steve.
Just look for the 2 guys. Now, you can subscribe.
Yeah, just tell everybody, Steve, because I can't.
Love for you to subscribe on YouTube at There's a Gleam Podcast. Look for our logo. It says Steve and John. It's a fancy new one that we just had done. You can follow us on Facebook at There's a Gleam Podcast. And I think we're a week, maybe 2 at being public. And now we won't have this debacle with the comments. For those of you on Facebook that had commented, thank you very much. Sorry I didn't see it.
Thank you for joining.
It's coming. You can follow me on X at Hemi44. And you can follow John at Get the Gleam. TikTok, John, There's a Gleam. Mine, I'm a couple weeks from changing that name, although I'm getting followers left and right. I don't know how, but okay.
Good.
And give us, usually you do it up by the next day. Apple, Spotify, you can listen. There's a Gleam Podcast. Look for our logo on the screen. Yeah. And please.
Apple and Spotify. There, I usually get them uploaded. Spotify will probably be tonight, and then I have to wait for it to kind of process, and I can do Apple will be on Thursday sometime.
Okay. Well, hey, you've done it for 2 weeks in a row. I know the first week you're like, I don't know how I did it, but I got it up there. So we're 2 for 2. So let's hope we do a third one. But yeah, please subscribe, follow, like, share, help us spread the word. We appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you stay with us. We got a lot of things in the work. We're just kind of getting our feet wet again, being on our own. Like I said, every week, I think we're going to have more news about the show, getting hopefully bigger and better. But on that note, just want to close out the show with some more of our theme. John, any last words from you, buddy?
As always, go Browns.
Go Browns. Thanks, everybody, and enjoy the new theme song.